Welcome to Campfire Stories with
Chuck.
and Sherry. So, we're currently at Maumee Bay State Park in Oregon, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
So, we thought about starting a new series. This series is, everyone loves a good campfire, telling stories around the campfire. So, we're going to tell a story on our series around the campfire.
Yeah. Because that's what you do around a campfire.
That's right. So we want to share some of these stories with you. And we want to also ask you, what story would you like us to tell around the campfire? So ask us anything. We'll maybe.
I don't know about anything.
Well, maybe.
But
we'll tell you.
So as we're here at Maumee, it's birding weekend, and Sherry always brings up this fact that I was attacked by bluebirds in our backyard.
Yeah, so this is going to be our first story. Could be our last story.
Uh-oh.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It don't catch fire.
We were shopping, and I was looking at a couple of birdhouses around the house for us.
Yes.
And so I just bought 2 houses, and when we got home, I noticed they were bluebird houses, and I was like, whatever. I just threw them out there. And yeah, 2 days later, there's a bluebird sitting right on top of the house.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And I was like, oh my gosh, and we'd never seen them.
Never.
And we were like, okay, they're there. So then I kind of did some research and find out they like mealworms and whatnot. So I built this little cool, it's like a clear see-through. They fly into this house, and it's plexiglass, and they eat mealworms and they fly out. And they're the only ones that can get in there. So anyway, these bluebirds housed up in one of the homes, and we, they eventually had babies.
And he was very curious about these babies.
Because I had feeders all around our
yes, we have babies
property.
All over all the time.
Yeah.
But I was like, but he was very curious because these are new birds that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So it was like a Friday night.
And it wasn't that it was Saturday morning. So it wasn't that
it was Friday. Let me go to Friday.
Oh, okay.
First.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let's start with that.
Go ahead.
So Friday night, he's like trying to get up close and
No, it wasn't. No, we have a grapevine. We
do have a grapevine.
We have a grapevine that we put in, and we put this bluebird house on one of the posts that hold up the grapevine.
Yes.
And when I mow, Mom and Dad, every time I go by, they fly out.
Yeah.
And then so anytime I go back by the grapevine or something, they'd fly out. And we knew there were babies in there. And I think I was back there fooling with the grapes or something, or they're doing something. And then she says...
He was not. He was so curious about these babies.
And I would never, go into to the home or nothing.
No, he just wanted to peek in there.
No, I wouldn't peek in a damn house.
You were trying to peek. Don't.
So go ahead. She's got conflicting...
Okay, but then we're going to find out the real story.
There is no real story. It's just the incident. But go ahead.
So... I was like, don't mess with them babies.
She thought I messed with them because Mom and Dad would fly out all the time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't me messing with them. It was just I was getting in their area so they would get nervous and they'd fly out. So I wasn't really messing with them.
Yeah, that's not true because he'd be like, I want to just peek in there and just see how many eggs. So don't...
Well, that was when they had the eggs. That was now they got babies now. They got babies and babies been in there.
And you said you wanted to go see the babies. Yeah, you did.
You change your stories up.
I'm telling you though. Okay. I promise you.
Don't be promising.
I
Don't
promise
be promising.
only when I really mean it, and I promise.
You got a selective memory. So go ahead.
No, I do not. So anyway, I'm like, don't mess with those babies. I go, those are the mamas. They don't play.
And she said don't mess with the babies, but I wouldn't mess with them damn babies.
You're not messing with them, but when you're coming close to a bird,
or on my property,
or any mama's babies.
So again, they're lucky they had that house because I put it up for them. So
yeah, that doesn't give you no right.
Fast forward.
Okay. Yes.
The next day, Saturday morning, I had a nice cup of coffee. I'm in my little slides and I'm walking around.
His pajamas, pants.
I'm outside just chilling, looking at the birds out there,
See?
And
trying to look at the babies.
So I looked at the one feeder, and then I went over behind this bluebird house over to this other section where we have multiple bird feeders. And when I came back, I was behind it, so I just was like, Mom and Dad didn't see me. I was gonna walk by it. I didn't want them buzzing by my ear, so I just tapped on the house.
See?
I just tapped on
I
that
said,
birdhouse.
don't mess with the birds. Don't do that.
And then next thing you know, 1 flies out, 2 flies out, 3 flies out. And it was like, I was startled because I was like, what the hell? And here it's the babies. They fly in the coop now. I scared them.
You never told me
Oh, gosh.
that.
Oh, my gosh.
You never told me that.
So anyway.
Are you serious? You never told me that. This is the first I'm learning this.
So anyway, 1 flies out, 2 flies out, 3 flies out.
Did they fly?
Yeah, I said they flew out.
Well, sometimes they fly and then come
No,
down.
hell no. These birds were gone. And mom or dad comes, buzz right by my ear. So I ducked. And they swooped by again. I ducked again, so I start running to get the hell out of there, right? Well, then as I'm running, I felt something like hit my ankle, the outside of my ankle, and I stopped for a second, and I kind of was like looking around, see if I was kind of still getting dive bombed, and I looked down at my ankle. I was like, damn, this thing hurts. So I took a step, and I almost fell over. And I was like, oh, no, I'm hurt. I'm injured here. So I tried to, take another step, and I couldn't. I damn near crawled back to the patio.
So mind you, and now I'm in our living room, which we have like a door and a window, like I can see out like our patio area. All of a sudden I'm like, is he crawling? Like, what is he doing? Is he crawling? It's like, what is happening? And then he's literally crawled up the steps.
And this is COVID. This is 2020.
Yes, in the doorway, he's crawling up the steps, and like
I opened the door. Yes. And I said, Sherry, we gotta go to the hospital. She said, what's going on?
What did you do?
And I told her I jacked my ankle up. So I thought I broke it, something, and it was just, it just popped. So I didn't know what was going on. I didn't think I broke it. I thought it was like a tendon or something. Not my Achilles, because I felt up and down in my Achilles. So I was like, all right, my Achilles is okay. So we get into the car, and she drives for the first time in months.
Yeah, because it's COVID.
Yeah,
didn't have to go anywhere.
We get to the hospital where I work at, and then she's not allowed to come in because of COVID.
So then I'm in the
hospital, and they come and they do an X-ray, and it's not broken. Couldn't do an MRI because it was so swollen, and they sent me home with an air cast.
Yeah, I'll insert a picture here somewhere.
So then my ankle was jacked up for a year.
It was.
I ended up going to a podiatrist.
Yes.
They claimed that I could have stretched or ruptured a tendon, and it was still swollen at that time. And this was a month and a half later.
Yeah.
Because I tried to, kind of work through it and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, he had to take time off of work. It was crazy. So, lesson learned here. Don't mess with these babies. I don't care if you're a human being or animal or whatever. Mamas are protective.
They are.
They're going to protect
mamas
it.
Are too.
They are. So, yeah, they were dive bombing him.
They were.
I wish we had a camera in the backyard, because that would have been great to see. But he's fully recovered, so it's all good.
But yeah, that's our story.
It like brought up memories being here with the birds and everything.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think. If we should continue this, or if
they'll be
guys,
better than this. This was just an initial.
Yeah, or if you guys have any ideas of like, hey, what kind of story would you guys like to hear?
Share some stories with us.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it. That's all we got. But that was fun.
Yes, it was. All right, guys. Till next time.
Safe travels.